What's going on, Metalheads? Thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Metal Forge. My name is Mark Jackson. I am your host. With me today is an awesome treat because anybody who's anybody like it knows that I'm in horror. I'm into horror. Obviously, you see all the cameras and all the skulls and all the flames and all that stuff here. You may have seen this gentleman in some of his later films, such as The Wrath of Becky, Queen Bee's, Candy Corn, but you might know him from some of his older films as well, such as Hard Bodies. Wow, I think this is the first time I've ever mentioned Hard Bodies on this show, and I love it. But aside from that, he's also in one of my other personal favorites, Back to the Future. And that might be a deep cut because I'm sure you know a lot of people don't catch that, but he is also in Children of the Corn as the character of Malachai. Ladies and gentlemen, people of all ages, Courtney Gains is with us today.
What's happening, y'all? What's happening?
Yeah, thank you so much. And Courtney has some new music coming out on top of being a world-renowned actor. I mean, I was just going through Wiki, and like your film credits are crazy. You've not taken a break in like 40 fucking years.
I've been fortunate that I've been able to work, made the transition from a teenage actor and just kept going. Yeah.
Which is extremely hard to do, especially, I was watching something of the similar, but you said a teenage actor and making the transition. I was watching something with Rob Reiner the other day, and he said the same thing about being a TV actor in the 70s. Moving to a film actor in the 80s. Him and people like Ronnie Howard.
Yeah, it was very, very difficult. I mean, really, referencing Back to the Future, it was really Michael J. Fox making the transition from TV to such a successful movie that really opened the door to TV actors being viable in film. Before that, it was like you were either a film actor or you were a TV actor. Right.
So let's talk about, really fast, we're going to get into that stuff here in just a minute, too.
Okay.
But the music.
Yes, sir.
So, hang on. Something just came up on the screen. Weird. I've never had that happen. I was going to flip a screen and I just pushed a button and like shit went crazy. Fucking tech, man. Anyway.
You're around me, tech things do that. So it's normal for me, unfortunately.
Dude, I get it 100%. So, give me the rundown. Where did you begin? Obviously you were a teen actor in all of the early 80s and all of that. Then where did music come from for you?
It's always been there. It's just taken a long time to get it out there and get known. 13 years old, I started taking acting classes with a professional actor. And I also started taking guitar lessons. So it's all kind of started around the same time, but I knew that acting was what I wanted to do professionally. And like I said, I had a guy who was a professional working actor who eventually became my manager, a guy named Virgil Fry, Soleil Moon, Punky Brewster Fry's father. And,
oh, wow.
Yeah. And, he broke me into the business. But music was always there, but I wasn't thinking to myself, I'm going to make a living at this. That wasn't the goal. But what was the goal, what always has been there for me, is I just like writing music. It's more than performing, more than recording. I'm learning to love those now because I'm putting more energy into that. But the moment of creation of writing a song is very cool for me. It's very, very, very artistically fulfilling. So then, I just was always working at it on the side. The first band I ever had in LA was an acoustic band called The Gathering, with a female singer. We started writing songs together at 15. Did that for a while, and then eventually I started my own project, a 3-piece where I played guitar called Ripple Street, and put out an EP, and then finally put out an LP. And then the last few years, I started doing my own thing, and started a band out here in Savannah called the Courtney Gains Group. And Savannah's got a great music scene, super talented group of people out here. It really blows me away for as small a town as it is, how many great players. But there's also just music everywhere, so you can get hired to play 3 sets a night, restaurants, bars all over town. And so doing those 3 sets a night, playing playing covers for the first time in my life, because in LA it was always about playing originals. It's been really great for me to just cut my teeth and get better and prepare to get, my goal is to get out on the road and do some stuff. And so I've been nibbling at that left and right, and feel like I'm ready to go now. 3 years of doing that will get you tough.
Yeah, it does. Well, yeah, tried and true, sticking to the regiment, like you said, playing 3 shows a night, doing the thing.
And you're playing with
and the covers are one thing.
Drunk people coming up to you going, "Hey man, you know this song?" Or Freebird, you're trying to play. I'm telling you, that's harder than when you're up on a stage a little bit away from it all. You're dealing with the feedback right then and right there, and it's real. Most people don't know who I am out here, which is great. So they're not liking it because they gotta like it. They're liking it, they like it or they don't. So it's a very authentic feedback. And it like I said, it makes you concentration, keep you focused, and those are the things you need when you're performing. So,
hell yeah, and yeah, I will second the Savannah thing. That is an amazing town for some awesome swamp metal too.
Yes,
you've got
that's
Black
right.
Tusk from Savannah.
That's right.
And I love those dudes. Played several shows together over the years.
Oh, that's cool. Small world.
Absolutely, it is.
I'm going to plug a project because that was all part of it. So this guy that got me started out in this town is a guy named Jim Reed, and he's a drummer, but he also is a writer. He also does promotion and management. He does all kinds of stuff. So he has a label called Fake Fangs. Fakefangs.com is where you hear my EP, Safe Haven. 5 songs, and then you can hear it 3 times for free. You can get a digitally download, or you can get a hard copy. But the last thing he just did, because he's also from North Carolina, is he did a thing called Marshes to Mountains, and it's a fundraiser with music from Savannah. It started out with like 20 songs. One of them is a single we just put out through him on that. For it's going to be on my LP. It's called Wander and Dream. As a matter of fact, that's going to be the title. But it started out like 20 songs, and it ended up being 200 songs.
Oh, wow.
It's insane. And again, all the proceeds go to help the what happened with the flooding and everything in North Carolina.
Yeah, Helene.
Yeah, but Swamp Tooth's on there.
Oh, yeah.
And Jim gave me the whole history of. There's a particular type of metal that comes out of Savannah. And there's so many different things musically going on here, and so many talented guys who, are like, 70 years old, still woodshed and doing gigs. Mm-hmm. You're just like, good players. I mean, really good players and nobody knows of, but like, I'm just amazed.
Of the best players outside of a place like Nashville. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that's so cool that you mentioned that, because it's like a trail. It's so wild, because it's like, it goes from like northern, like some bits of Louisiana, northern Florida, through that area all the way up to Savannah, and then it kind of hooks back around into like North Carolina and stuff.
It's kind of like the whole southeast has just got a really vibrant. It's so common that bands are playing that it's almost like just a background music to the to everybody where they are eating or drinking or whatever they're doing. It's just
mm-hmm.
like sometimes it's just completely taken for granted. It's just people aren't there to necessarily listen to the band. They're just the band's there playing, and sometimes they're there to hear the band. But it's very cool that music just really permeates, kind of like a New Orleans or something. It's just there and it's just out everywhere. I love it. I love it.
Hell yeah. So okay, so you mentioned a minute ago about let's see, it was when you were young, you were taking acting lessons. When you were like 13 years old, you took guitar lessons when you were 13 years old as well, but you knew mm-hmm. you wanted to be an actor. Mm-hmm. But what about like, okay, so you were 19, what year were you born? Let me look again.
I was born in 65. I'm 60 years old now.
Okay.
Trying to live the rock dream at 60. It's a little backward, but I'm having a blast doing it.
That's it doesn't matter when you do it, as long as you're doing it, right?
Yep, I agree.
Okay, so we're looking. Okay, we're looking here probably 1980 at this point,
right?
You'd have been about 15 years old,
right? When the whole metal scene was happening on the Sunset Strip. There was the first time the coffee house thing kind of happened in L.A. There was a whole acoustic scene off of the Strip, and that's where my band was pretty in the trenches there, and we had a really good following, playing all the and we play the Roxy and stuff like that too, but it'd be like not during the metal stuff,
Sure. So well, that's the whole thing. Is obviously and back in the 80s, you hear the stories of like the bands in San Francisco, Metallica, you hear all of those and how they were all kids going into these bars and playing shows and nobody cared.
Right.
Now, was that the same for you as well in LA? I mean,
Like I said,
because
we were
it
doing
seems
something
kind of
totally
weird.
different. Doing the acoustic thing, it was a totally different thing. But I was teaching an acting class at that time, and so a lot of those students would come, and so we had a lot of people coming to see us. So we were always asked to come back to play because we were making money. You know what I mean? We were
Sure,
making
sure.
money for the bars, the restaurants, or the Roxy, or any of those places. They were like they all had like a number. If you hit the number, you get paid a couple bucks, and they ask you back. It's
Yep.
just was a numbers game. But
I mean, it's
the girl I had in the band, her name's Shayna O'Neill. She can freaking sing, dude. She can wail. If I have the first record I put out is called Gains, 1988 to 1999, and four of the songs from The Gathering are on there. So if anybody wanted to ever check, you can find that somewhere.
well, yeah, we'll definitely throw
And
links on there.
you can find her. You can hear her voice, and she could really sing. So that also drew people in. But it was my first chance to see if my songwriting, worked, and we got good responses. And some of those same songs I'm still working with today. Some of the songs I put on the last record, Safe Haven, were some of the songs we had from back then. So that's what I've been really the last few years is like it's time to start recording all this stuff, and you can record now in an affordable way where you're just not absolutely losing your shirt and no idea how you're going to recoup your money.
Sure, we're doing it right now, actually.
Exactly. This would have cost thousands and thousands of dollars to do,
Oh, yeah,
20
for
years
sure.
ago,
Well,
30 years ago.
and that's so wild that you bring that up because to me, you're saying you're doing the singer songwriter kind of thing
Yes.
15, 10 to 15 years before it's made popular again back in like Seattle and stuff like that in the
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah.
The singer songwriter post grunge era that
Yeah.
that kind of harkened back to those James Taylors
Yeah,
and
which
people like that.
you don't hear in pop music today at all. You don't hear a guitar in a pop music song anymore at all. Back in the '70s, pop music there was always an acoustic guitar in there, almost.
Sure, yeah.
It is very. I feel like even though I'm playing music that's familiar to me and close to me and how what I grew up with when I'm doing these covers and stuff, I have to sometimes wake myself up and go like, this song's 50 years old, or this song's this, or some of these songs I'm playing blues songs. Some of these songs are 60 years old. But to
Oh
me,
yeah.
they're not. To me, they're just familiar because that's my era.
Yeah, and that's what that was what you grew up with. Now, when I took lessons as a wee lad,
So we lad.
as a
Yes.
wee lad, um, my instructor asked me the first day, he's like, "What kind of guitar player do you want to be?"
Mm.
When you started taking lessons, what guitar player did you want to be?
Certainly the guitar players I wanted to be will be guitar players I will never be. I wanted to be Hendrix and I wanted to be Van Halen and they had all these shred masters, and that's just not me. And what I've learned over the years is, like if you look at like say you could look at Guns N' Roses, you could even look at AC/DC. The noodle dudes, which is its own genius, don't get me wrong, it is. You got to have a guy who can noodle, are not the songwriters usually. It's usually the rhythm guys, the
Mm-hmm. Oh,
songwriters.
sure.
And that's me. I'm the
Yeah.
rhythm guy. I'm the guy who holds the
Dude,
beat.
hey, I totally
You know?
get that. Me too.
Yeah.
Like I am, I could play guitar, but my forte is bass. I had a deal where it was just like it was at the right time. We were sitting at like sixth grade lunch table kind of shit. And it's like, let's all ask our parents for instruments for Christmas.
Nice.
We're gonna
Yeah.
start a band and we're all 12.
Yeah. Way to do it.
And it's like guitar player, guitar player, guitar. Well, I'll play bass, damn it.
That's usually what happens. That's what I've done with this band, with the Courtney Gains group. I switched from guitar to bass. And the main reason I did it was because I'm not a good enough noodler to noodle for 3 45-minute sets and be any kind of interesting. So
I get that.
I've switched to bass. Essentially, I'm a guitar player on bass, but it's really also opened up my ears. I'm hearing bass now a lot more than I used to and appreciating bass lines a lot more than I used to. So it's been really good to expand my mind in terms of writing. And in some of the songs off this, like I said, the EP that's out, as well as some of the songs on the LP were written on bass, which is also a different vibe to write something on bass versus an
Yeah.
acoustic guitar or whatever. So I'm always looking for ways to expand and collaborate and grow and try something different.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's one of my things. Is like I love looking. Okay, so Rose Bowl flea market.
Yeah.
Okay. I get those videos through my feed and now I'm talking about it. They're hearing me. They're going to be like flooded even more, but I love them. But I follow this person on it's either Instagram, Facebook, something like that, where they constantly are going to the flea market picking up old school instruments like
Yeah,
weird
those guys just make me mad when they find like a great deal. You're like,
oh
oh,
yeah, for sure. It's like, damn it, I wish I got that. But like so like that I think is a very healthy thing for musicians to do is get outside of your comfort zone of your instrument. If you're feeling stuck on guitar, transfer to either a different method or transfer to a different instrument and sit and then come back and then put in time there and then come back to what you did
yeah,
because
it shows even in my playing guitar. And I play a couple songs on acoustic guitar during each set as well, and it's shown my rhythm is that much stronger, and playing on the acoustic guitar now that I've been playing bass. It's like it's because I'm thinking more about time now than I was before.
sure,
So it all helps for sure. It all helps. You just
definitely.
gotta just keep trying stuff and not being afraid to make mistakes and it was well, I'm lucky though, I started doing the whole cover band thing. Now you can go online and get these bass tabs and learn songs. You don't have to be like listening to this and keep rewinding the 45 to try to that
Oh
would have
yeah,
I didn't have the
back in the
patience for that.
day.
That's why I started writing my own songs. I just didn't have the patience to learn songs like that or from books. You had to go get a guitar center. But now you can really pick up stuff fast, and it's so fun for me playing songs that I never thought I would have been playing. So it's very cool.
That's interesting. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm the same way. Like listening to it, I am not worth a shit. If I can look at it or watch somebody do it, like I'm golden. But like, yeah, or reading
Some
it,
guys just got great ears. Like I
they
got
do.
okay ears.
Uh, my drummer in my thrash band is fucking on another level. He shout out Mike. But he's the same way. He could just be like, nope, that's off, and is
the, th-
on it.
the,
But
the thing that's been interesting out here is because again I came from playing originals all my life before I came out here is out here generally speaking you're judged for your musicianship on your ability to play covers like note for notish. Now I'm not
mhm,
interested in that. Sometimes I'm not capable, but other times I'm just not interested. I find to me the idea of an artist is to interpret something. That to me is what an artist does, not imitate
yeah.
something. So I
Oh,
take stuff,
absolutely.
I take stuff and I do it my own way. And at first, people were like, some of my bandmates were like, "You can't do that." I'm like, "Why not? I've been playing originals my whole life. Like, why not?" And it's actually been something that's kind of separated me a little bit. And there's some people are like really surprised. The first thing I do to give you the perfect example is I do Desperado, but I do it mid. I pretty much do everything mid tempo. So I do it like a
Sure.
mid tempo. And so when it starts, nobody knows it's that song. Nobody knows it's that song. And then I start singing it, and the people are always like, "Wait, what is going on here?" And it establishes right away that what you're going to hear interpretations. I say things like, "You'll recognize this song eventually."
Yeah. Oh, hey, that's actually a great idea.
It works for me because it's just an honest interpretation. That's what I do. I take it, I bring it in, and then I reinterpret it. But I think that's to me what an art. But there's so many guys here are so technically proficient. They can do things note for note out here. They're just really solid players.
Oh, for sure. And it's like, okay, so to me, there's a time to do that, and there's not a time to do that. If you're playing as a tribute band,
That's
you
that's
better hit every fucking note.
That's yeah, that's it, and that's where if you're not a signed band or a band that's successful at doing original work, the best money is in tribute bands. So if you're a very proficient player, matter
Sure.
of fact, I'm leaving this interview. The reason I was like, I can only go so long is I'm leaving this interview to go to this place called Coach's Corner, which is like the tribute band place in Savannah to hear a band. It's a local band, but they're called Charlie Fogg, and they're a Grateful Dead tribute band. So I'm
Oh
I'm
shit.
actually looking forward to seeing that. I've seen the Dead maybe 4 times in my life, so I,
Wow.
so but they're a local band, but they have a good following in town because I'm sure they do the Dead well because they wouldn't have a following otherwise. So I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have a very love-hate relationship with tribute bands. I love most of the people that are my friends that are in them. I just don't necessarily agree with tribute bands, especially while the band is still alive
Yeah,
or has the
there's a lot of
potential
that.
to
There's a lot of that.
do it, you know,
But there's
like if
money to
it
be made. There's money to be made, and you can tour with it. And if that's your jam, if you're into it, more power to you.
the other well like take for example all the Metallica tribute
Yeah, I said
bands.
there's tons of Metallica. I was going to say Metallica bands because I'm sure there's tons of them.
And Metallica are still
Yes.
very active for their age, you know, because you're all
What
around
they
the
what
same
they
age
may
of, be,
not
of
be
group.
going to they may not be coming to a small town like this or even smaller towns like this. So that's where these bands show up. They show up and
Sure.
they get a taste of it, but because it's when a big band comes through, like Sting's coming through soon, like that's like a big deal. Like maybe once a year, twice a year, anybody like big comes through this
Y'all
town.
are getting Sting?
Sting's coming, yeah, he's playing in Savannah
Really?
soon because we built.
I bet he's gonna play Bourbon and Beyond next year. No.
Yeah, they built a hockey arena for a team out here, and so now they've got a big enough stadium to house some big artists, and now they're starting to come.
Oh.
Yeah, called Enron,
Is
Enmark Arena.
Georgia getting another a pro hockey team, maybe?
It's like yeah, whatever, like a 2A or something. It's not a pro
Well,
team.
I'll just let you know I'm a Kings fan, so
There you go. Are you in LA?
no, I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. And
Oh, okay, right on. How
but
do you
no,
become a Kings
so
fan in Louisville, Kentucky?
well, okay, so let me explain
Yeah,
really quick.
okay.
I'll give you the dime store tour. Um, it was a thing. I was a kid in the '90s, and the Mighty Ducks came out,
Yes, yes.
and it was just like holy shit. And we had like a 2A team here, like
Uh-huh.
they were called the River Frogs at one point. Now we don't have one, but that's the story for another day. But anyways, as me and my best friend at the time, Jacob, were, watching the Mighty Ducks, we got really into hockey in like 1992. And it's been a love ever since. And it was just like going through the teams, but not having a pro team.
And that isn't
That
that when
was the
Gretzky was at the Kings and stuff? Isn't that
and
or
Gretzky was at the Kings at that
there you
time.
go. That
Yes.
explains
I
it.
mean, he had made that was about 4. He was on the Kings for about 4 years at that point.
Right.
It was pretty much the end of his run with the Kings. He only had a few more years with them before he went to I believe New York and then to St. Louis or vice
I don't know.
versa.
That's above my pay grade. I was in LA though, so I remember when Gretzky
Yeah,
was there.
absolutely. Well, so yeah, you were like 25 years old at the time when
Mm,
he came to LA. So that
mm,
was big news then.
sure.
I mean, that probably had the city on, the sports part of the city on fire. But
Michael Jordan of hockey. Yeah, man.
yeah, for sure. So I want to ask you some general profile questions about
Sure.
Courtney as a person. First one is why should we fear the boogie?
Oh, why should we fear the boogie? Well, I think the concept of that is that fear is the boogie, right? We as human beings worry all the time, and I think that's and we certainly worry. We're afraid of the dark and what lies, what's out there that we can't see, that we can't protect ourselves from, right?
Yeah,
So I
what's out in
think
that cornfield?
in this, it could be the cornfield, right? Speaking of which, I'll tell you a quick little story that was part of the genesis of writing the song. So last year was the 40th anniversary of Children of the Corn. So did a whole lot of conventions,
Sure.
more than I'd ever done in a year, and such. And the last thing we culminated with which was a screening at the Sitges Film Festival in Spain, which is about a half hour out of Barcelona. It's the biggest horror sci-fi film festival in Europe. So it was a big deal to get to go do that. And so we did a screening. We did it. We announced. We announced the movie, and then we were waiting to do our Q&A while the movie was playing. And the guy that was hosting it came out, and he's like, "Hey, man, I got to tell you this. I got to tell you this." I'm like, "Sure, what you gotta say?" He goes, "You don't understand. When I was a kid, you were it, man. You were the most scary thing in the world." He said we were like 10-year-old kids, and like one of us would watch the VHS and then give it to the next guy, and you got to watch this. And then we all commiserated. And he goes, "You were known as the boogeyman of Barcelona." I'm just like, wow,
Wow.
that's just mind blowing to think that,
That's hardcore.
right? So
Dude.
the boogeyman is real, especially to little kids, right? It's
Yeah,
very real.
absolutely.
The
Very
power of
real. So
cinema, man. You
so
can't
that's why we
underestimate
should.
the power of cinema. And then this movie, Barn 3, that it's going to be in, that I'm in, which will be coming out next year. There's three bad characters that come out of this barn thing over the last 10 years of this trilogy, and one of them is a miner with a pickaxe, and he's called the Boogeyman. So between the two of them, the Boogeyman was very much on my mind. And when Wall wrote, got a new guitar with a drop down D and started writing some metal, that's what came out.
Hell yeah, dude.
Just don't think
That's
too
what it's
much.
about.
Let the subconscious come through and tell you what it's about. That's how I try to do it. Don't think too
For
much.
sure. For sure. Coach Kelly Maroney going to be in that as well.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. People know her from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Lot of soap work. I didn't realize
that's how her career started. Her career started at a relatively young age doing soaps, and then she eventually came out to LA and then has had a long career.
Have you ever done a soap? Have you ever done a soap?
Oh, a soap. I didn't hear the question. No, I think I've auditioned for a few soaps, but most of the time when I'd be like desperate for work and so like, I'll take anything, my team would always be like, you can't do a soap, Carter. You can't do a soap. I'm like, why not? It pays. I don't care, But they'd be like, nah, man, you're a movie guy. You can't do a soap. I'm like, okay. I had a friend, Christophe St. John. He was on Young and the Restless for, I don't know, man, over 20 years. Passed away a couple of years ago. Oh, my light went out again. What happened to me before? There we go. He had a story. He had a great career on Young and the Restless. It's hard. Soap operas, sometimes you'll be doing, like in a movie, if you do 10 pages a day, that's an insane amount. You could do like 3 pages, 5 pages, something like that. On a soap opera, you might do 30 pages a day. That's why they have the teleprompters. That would be very difficult to do. So I find it interesting as a challenge, but no, I've never been offered a soap.
Well, see, the weird thing about that part of the industry is like the pay difference, I'm sure, because they're getting all their money on the upfront side. Whereas, as a film actor or like an episodic TV actor for like sitcoms and stuff or TV dramas, not soaps, but they're getting residual checks.
Well, so yeah,
on some of the cases.
I'm sure soaps do too, though, if they rerun them, which they do. But really, the main thing is, they don't get paid as much, quote unquote, but they work constantly, right? Like
because they're working
three times a week, 5 times a week. So it ends up, I think, it's more work, but it ends up paying off in the long run because they stay busy,
Sure, but yeah, that's wild to me because it's just like because again they do like 5 episodes a week.
Yeah,
crazy stuff. Couple more for you, really quick, sure. and we can go. What is something you've always avoided doing because it's scary or hard?
Oh God. One of the first things I avoided with technology was writing. Just texting people or typing. Like I'm a shitty speller, so sure. It's always been embarrassing. Like my girlfriend was a school teacher for 17 years. She's always correcting my shit, So writing is one of the things I fear the most. Probably more than a lot of things. Because I think that always makes my ass look stupid. I just sound stuff out and just keep typing. I don't think, But I'm not a good speller.
Well, the good thing now is that with like spell check and stuff like that, but
a lot of times that spell check ends up messing me up too, though. It ends up putting the wrong word in.
Oh, sure, yeah. Especially when it's even worse.
You send off the text, and you're like, "Damn, that's not what I meant," and then you got to fix it. So
ends and ons and stuff like that piss me off when I mean to say like I'm gonna have them on the Metal Forge and it's like in the Metal Forge. It's like.
And I'm notorious for add like what the school always like add on, like my sentences are always super long with no one apostrophe because I do it like I write like I talk, not like a writer, and that's the trick. One of the tricks to me as an actor when you read a script is you gotta a lot of the time get rid of the punctuation unless you're doing like Mamet or you're doing like Shakespeare where those things are very, very specific with the rhythm. Writers write like writing. They don't write like talking. And my job is to take that and then make it work. And one of the ways to do that is run on sentences, which is what I used to get in trouble in school. Because as you hear me now, I'm just rambling the hell on, which is exactly what people do.
Same. Same. That's one of my favorite things. It's George Lucas. And the Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford have all said about George Lucas is like the way he wrote as a writer. The dialogue was just insane. Like who talks like
Who
this?
talks like this, right? I want to work with Harrison Ford just so I can do the trifecta because I worked with the other two. So
Oh wow.
just to say I've worked with the entire leads of Star Wars would be some this folklore I'd like to have. So
Well, I mean,
on the bucket
you are
list.
in Savannah, so you're not that far up the road from Atlanta and
No,
Disney up there.
that's why I moved out here because I'd worked in Atlanta and I didn't want to go from one big city to another big city.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm in striking distance. It's a 4 hour drive or whatever, an hour and a half flight. But it's not just Atlanta. Just I always tell people this because it's an education I learned once I got here. It's the whole Southeast market, 400
Mm-hmm.
miles in any direction from Atlanta. So I've worked
Yeah.
in Kentucky, I've worked in North Carolina, I've worked in South Carolina, I've worked in Florida, I've worked in Tennessee. So there's a lot of work out here. It's not always just in, and I've worked in Atlanta, of course, too, but it's all over the place out here. So, and
Yeah.
then I can still work in LA, which I do. It's just a flight, but it's opened up the whole door to New York, which is only an hour and a half flight. And I've gotten some very good jobs. Wrath of Becky was shot in New Jersey, and that's how I got it
Okay.
because I was out here. And Wrath of Becky just got on Netflix. They just picked it up, which is a big deal. If anybody hasn't seen that movie, it's pretty damn good. I recommend it.
Hell yeah. We're gonna leave links. If you could reprise any role from your career,
Ooh, reprise.
who would you reprise?
Ooh.
And I will say you get, because you've had some amazing roles throughout your career, um, you can resurrect characters.
Never thought about it really. I think I know what the audience favorite would be.
Of
They'd like,
course, yeah.
bring Malachai back, and
Oh no.
there's been a few times that's been out there, but it just never happened. And I always say if they're going to bring that character back, they best pay me because I ain't doing that shit for free because that's a calling card gig, you know. So
It is.
it's
I
been
want you to
talked
bring
about.
Dixon back.
Dixon, you could do a whole thing on Dixon now. Now that he's older, who's Dixon now? I
No
think
shit.
I had the
Like Dixon
funniest
in
idea.
20.
I had this funny idea that I thought would might offend some people, but now it's really weird because it's actually happened in its own way. Is I thought it'd be funny to do a short with my Klopek character from the Burbs once he gets out of jail and
Oh God.
he moves into an all black neighborhood, so it's called the Blurbs. But all the characters are exactly like the characters from the Burbs, but they're all black. Now the reason it's really funny is because actually that girl Kiki Palmer, she is actually doing a reboot of the Burbs as a television series, and it is black. So.
Oh wow. That's
So
even fun.
I thought
Dude,
about this like I've been talking about this for like 20
you've
years, and
gotta you've
it's
gotta
actually
hit
come
that
true.
up.
So that'd really be funny if they're smart enough. Because I'm the last living Klopek. It'd be really funny if they were smart enough to bring that down character back as an adult.
That would be some good shit.
That would be hilarious. But I don't know if they're gonna pick up on that. But if they know the fan base for real, that would be
Well,
the way. That would be hilarious.
maybe we should share them this podcast.
Why not? You
Maybe
never
they'll
know.
pick up on it then, right?
It open their mind. But the Blurbs, that's what I wanted to call it.
That's great. That is so. Aaron, a friend of mine, he co-hosts on the Metal Forge. Sometimes he has his own show on our network called Ossont&Battery. Wants me to say thank you for scaring the shit out of him as a child,
You're
because
welcome. I'm glad I did my job.
of course, if oh shit, I lost my train of thought completely. I was gonna say, other than Harrison Ford, because you did mention him for that reason earlier.
Yeah.
Who else would you ever want to work with?
Glenn Close. I think I hear nothing but great things about her. I think she's fantastic. I'd love a chance to work with her. Daniel Day-Lewis, I think, is the last of the method actors, you know, even though he's English. I
Sure.
think he's very, very method. And I'm a method guy by trade, so I would love to work with him. Those are the two that have been, because it's been getting asked lately. Those are the two that really jump off right
Sure.
now that I would love to get in the ring with, as I say.
So like There Will Be Blood. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Amazing film. Last of
Well,
the
I mean,
Mohicans. Amazing film.
you go all the way back to the first one that put him on the map, My Left Foot. I mean, just a
Yeah.
phenomenal performance. I mean, monster.
Insane. Insane.
Pacino.
Uh,
That'd be crazy to work with Pacino. I could go for that. I could work with Al Pacino. That would be great.
See, I always thought Dustin Hoffman would be cool.
Yeah, he's good. He's
He,
intense.
I
And,
mean, like again, me being a kid in the '90s,
yeah,
I'm a fan of Hook.
yeah.
Him playing Captain Hook, I thought was good.
I got a chance when I was shooting Memphis Belle in England. We were there 3 months, so one of the things I got to do was go see what I consider the best theater in the world is in London, not New
Sure.
York, in my opinion. I got to see him do Merchant of Venice playing Shylock, and I was in the eighth row center. It was phenomenal. And it was so different to see him work as a methody actor with all these very classically trained actors. It was his character was sort of very different than them anyway, because he was Jewish and he was the lender, and they looked down on him, but it was phenomenal. So yeah, no,
That sounds so amazing.
he's a beast, man. He's a beast.
Hell yeah. So one more question, but before we get to it, as I always say, links, they're listed below. So please give likes, shares, follows, do all the things, all the stuff, go buy merch, go see him play live. He's doing shows in Savannah. Go to it. Go when you go see Black Tusk there, go see Courtney as well. Simple as that. Keep doing it. Do you have anything else you would like to shout out or promote today before we go?
No, I think we covered it. We covered Fear the Boogie. Go to my Spotify, check that out. We got the Barn 3 coming out soon. No, I think, and we've got an LP coming out called Wander and Dream in the next year. So I think those are the highlights for right now.
Hell yeah. So it's the end of everything. You've done everything that you've wanted to do, and even some things that you never thought you would ever be able to do. What do you want to leave the world?
Oh gosh. Right now it's the music. I mean, that really is I really want to share my music with the world. It sounds a little cliche when I say it to people, but that's really the truth. And it's a tough racket learning this record business and how to get stuff out there. But
Mm-hmm.
what I've learned, whether it be through the music or as an actor, is that you never underestimate the ability to have impact in people's lives. You never know who's listening. You never know who's watching. You never know who's being touched, moved, and inspired. I've learned that over the years, and so yeah, it's just I have a lot of material. I've been writing for a long time, so I'm just trying to get it all out there now and share it with the world and see what comes back.
Hell yeah, man. I couldn't say it any better myself. That's awesome. And with such a body of work that you have in your acting career, and now the stuff that you're putting through in your music career, yeah, it's definitely a very different business for one.
Yes.
Yeah, it's insanely
It's harder to find information on. That's the most interesting. Like you can go online, say, show me all the acting agents in LA, and you can boom. But if you say like, go online, show me all the booking agents, music booking agents, and music, it's only the top ones are there, and unless you're already established, you're not signing with them. So it's very
sure.
hard. It's very hard to find things, but that's all part of the process. You just got to get out there and keep doing, keep networking, keep meeting people, keep sharing what you're doing. Somebody likes what you're doing, they'll let you know, and they'll try to move you to the next place. So
Hell yeah, man. That's out. Yeah, you're totally right. So thank you again. I appreciate your time. Sorry we went over just a little bit, but
it
it's
was fun.
awesome. I appreciate it.
Pleasure meeting you, man.
For sure. And we'll totally get this out and do the thing and all the stuff. And here we go. Fear the Boogie.
He lives
Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttatooandpiercing@gmail.com and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing. Hey metalheads, after going to a rager, what's your ultimate go-to? Mine is totally pizza. So when Overload is playing or I'm promoting the Metal Forge live showcases or the big goddamn metal show, I go to Pizza Donisi. Pizza Donisi is gourmet artisan pizza from right here in Louisville, Kentucky. It features things like the pizza of the month, the sandwiches, and also vegetarian and vegan options, which is so totally fucking cool for all of it's awesome pizza. You definitely want to go. Hey, and also from time to time they do cannolis. Oh, so fucking good. You know what they said, man? Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Yeah, just like that in Godfather. They're located right next to the Mag Bar at 1396 South 2nd Street. So either stop in or call in at 502-213-0488. They're open till midnight. The witching hour.
Heineken? Fuck that shit! Pabst Blue Ribbon!
Hey metalheads, you all hear me talk about Mag Bar all the time. It is the home to the Metal Forge live showcases and is an integral stop in the ultimate underground metal tour schedule. They obviously feature live music, but the Mag Bar also has daily specials like Pint and Slice Night on Tuesdays with Pizza Donisi. But they also do Bring Your Own Vinyl on Thursdays with DJ Kent Jackson and Finer Things Sundays. Located right next to Pizza Donisi at 1398 South 2nd Street. Open 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. 7 days a week. Get your asses out to the Mag Bar. Rock out. For 45 years in keeping Louisville weird, Electric Ladyland has been there for all your eccentricities. While they do offer the best smoking supplies out on the market today, there's a whole lot more to check out. From ashtrays and blacklight posters, to records, incense and burners, and items to stock your metaphysical supply. They're open from 10 to 10, 7 days a week. Located at 2325 Bardstown Road in Louisville, Kentucky, and at Electric Ladyland 420 Roll out. In 2017, one man's vision and passion for all things metal started out as a record store in his house. Years later, the fight against a mainstream empire continues as Shade Beast. An independent metal collective and online store based in Athens, Georgia, is the world's premier heavy metal brand for music heads that value authenticity over the mainstream acceptance. Featuring original t-shirts from some of the best underground artists, as well as stickers, posters from the Shade Beast Presents concert series. Unique, one-of-a-kind collectibles and small curated selection of vinyl and cassettes from the masters old and new. Visit shadebeast.com and enter promo code SithLord for free domestic shipping on your first order, whether you're a new customer or returning. And be sure to join the Shade Beast social groups on Facebook and the interwebs to keep up with the new release announcements and talk all things metal and Star Wars. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and filth.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Since 2013, there has been a calling from the underground, from the graves of all those unholy, and they decided to make a zine to talk about all of this. Soul Grinder Zine! An independent metal zine to keep you informed on all things metal and horror from the underground. Available in both print and digital formats, they're bringing you the best interviews and reviews out there today. Not only do they do the zine, but they also do compilation CDs. Check them out at facebook.com/soulgrinder.zine and start your subscription now. Hey everybody, let me tell you about the new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Unchained Tapes. They're an independent Pennsylvania tape label. They focus on extreme metal and punk with a killer approach to the tape scene. Visit their web store at unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com now to get your fill of tapes. And for being a Metal Forge listener, enter the code METALFORGE10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on your total purchase. That's unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com.
What's up, Metal Forge fans? This is Alan Bishop, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest and head distiller at Spirits of French Lick. Do you find yourself drawn to the unexplained, fascinated by the Fortean, or enchanted by the paranormal? If the things that go bump in the night resonate in your mind, then tune into my brand new podcast, If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. Featuring first-hand accounts, collected stories, interviews, history, and speculation related to all things not of this world. Available now on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and more. Set back, relax, and remember, if you have ghosts, you have everything.
Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. To distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code METALFORGE10 to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now. Hey Metalheads, it's with great pleasure I get to tell you guys about a new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Ageless Art, New Albany. After 20 years of owning and operating Ageless Art in Clarksville, Indiana, Phil Garrett had a vision for a new type of tattoo studio. Something that is clean and modern, sleek, refined, inviting. And he's done just that with Ageless Art in New Albany. You can find it at 2736 Charlestown Road, New Albany, Indiana, 47150. Business hours are Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays are 12 to 6. All sessions are appointment only, so give them a call and go get you some new ink. Or if it's your first time, go get your first one, baby.
In a broken wasteland, come to my fire and place your blood and steel upon